There are similarities between minimal drawing and poetry. I think there is a love of the white around the thing and isolated on a page.
What makes cartooning so unique?
I think they're unique in that they are two in one. They're words and pictures.
How do you bring out this kind of distinction between body and mind through your cartoons?
The cartoonists who strike me as most honest, Roz Chast and Gabrielle Bell, their characters look a bit different in every frame. Growing up in the 90s and being expected to look like Rachel from Friends with a very specific kind of beauty. That's why I chose to make my character amorphous.
The shadow concept, because it's kind of the part of you that you want to keep dear. And it's outside the body and it's dark and it doesn't look like anything. And yet it's the bit that really matters.
Yeah.
What do you think the average person can gain from cartooning themselves?
For me,
To bring it to a more general discussion away from the books themselves, what do you think the average person can gain from cartooning themselves, and how do you think it helps people to understand themselves, just the daily practice of getting a cartoon out?
for me, it's there are many ways to use it, but I use cartooning as a way to I use it for two reasons. One, as a way of naming things that are bothering me and refusing to let myself suppress them, so that I could see them and move past them. And second, there's another way of drawing cartoons, which is just kind of to zone out and to let your mind wander. And that's where my New Yorker cartoons, which are less autobiographical, come from. Usually I'll just take a day and just doodle, and that can be really healing and really fun.
Yeah, I think remind me, you use the gel pens that you use. You mentioned that it feels every tremble, right? So the pen reacts to every tremble in your hand. And I think that relates to the wider discussion of drawing, because even though I'm a terrible illustrator, maybe we can get up a picture here of one of the things I've drawn.
I'd love to see one.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you would, but
I would.
My point is, even though I'm not quote unquote technically skilled, there's still this cathartic feeling of, if, for example, I'm feeling emotional and I draw something, the fact that it's kind of being externalized, this connection between mind and hand is quite a special thing, and I think comes out through drawing specifically that prose just cannot capture in the same way. Do you feel that maybe for a general audience, maybe our listeners who might see cartooning as lesser than, what do you have to say about that, as cartooning as an art form?
Oh man, I don't have the thing where I see some art forms as more than and some as less than. So sure. I don't know, I don't have that at all. So if someone does, that's okay. I think maybe it is less than. There's much less of a machine and much less of a history and much less of a community even. So fewer people do it. But to me, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm not a very good drawer. I'm much more of a writer. So I've good control of the language, but when it comes to drawing, not as much. Yeah. However, I do feel there is. No, I was going to say just that I do feel there is something about drawing that is outside of language.
Do you think in words? I'm fascinated with the idea that some people think in words and some don't. I don't know if it's true, but do you think that you do?
I definitely think in words more than pictures, to be honest. But it depends though. If I'm on a day to day and I'm not concentrated on something, I'd say I think in words. But then if I'm thinking about a specific scenario, I'm trying to imagine myself somewhere or something, then it'll be images. But I don't know. What about you? Are you in images or a words person first?
I think I'm an ideas person, but I think that for me, ideas take the form of symbols, not like photographs, but also I don't know if I even think. Does anyone?
I think you probably do. It's funny, that's another level of meta, but did you know you were going to come in and do 5 chapter ones, or is that part of the process of creation?
Oh, it was definitely part of the process. It was the first, so it was my second book, but it was my first book that was kind of a story, and not like my first book was a collection of letters that were written to a Yiddish advice column in the early 1900s, and I adapted them into comics, and then I made a little narrative around them kind of to tie them together. But like I had an idea for the book before I made it, but the second book was like a story, and I felt like it wanted to come out of me, and like I didn't quite know how to tell it, partly because I'm not practiced in narrative, even though I care about it a lot, and partly because comics was pretty new to me. Like not cartooning wasn't as new to me, but comics with drawing the same characters over and over and making panels on a page, like the math of that was a lot to learn for me. And even the art supplies to use. So like, I just felt kind of hobbled in various ways. And I kept starting over, like I kept diving in. I didn't know how to organize myself to make it more manageable, like making the free writing and the making what's it even called? Like an outline. Like I never studied writing. I didn't know how to do any of that. So I just would plunge in and feel like totally enveloped by the story. And then like 20 pages in, it would totally fizzle and I wouldn't know what to do and I would stop. So after years of working on this book, I had 5 chapter ones and I just put them all together.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the episode. I just wanted to drop you in a word from our sponsor Manscaped. You can use the discount code LOAF to get your discount, because even a lion needs to tame its mane.
Get the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra from Manscaped now. Stay fresh with no cuts, so that your baguette leaves no crumbs.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that short excerpt from our interview with Liana Finck. If you want to see the whole thing, click right here. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because we've got loads more like that coming in the future. If you've got any requests for guests you want us to interview, drop a comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.